Hi everyone and welcome to a new video. If you're new here, my name is Leia and I live with my family here on our land in Portugal in our yurt that we recently moved into. We're on a journey towards a more slow and simple and most of all sustainable lifestyle. For me, one of the most important things within that is food. Also because I love food, I love cooking, which is kind of a meditation for me. I love exploring new cuisines and making up new recipes. Food is also a very important part for me when it comes to ethics and sustainable living. So that's what my video is about today. I want to talk to you about why it is that we eat a certain way, and then I have a little not really a recipe video, but a little bit of an explanation of how I cook one of my favorite dishes for the winter, and a few more examples of what we have been eating over the last couple weeks. I want to preface this by saying that this is what works for us, this is what we're doing, and it might not work for you. I'm not trying to be preachy or anything. I think everyone is on their own journey towards a more sustainable life. This is just one of the things that we try to think about and implement within our life. So let's get into the video. In this video about food, I want to tell you a little bit about what is important to us when it comes to buying our food and what we consume and put into our bodies. So if you were here from the very beginning, you would know that we used to be vegan. We used to consume no animal products. I have since put that video on private because I no longer feel that we are connected to that label. We are no longer vegan. For a couple months now we've been buying some local cheese and some organic eggs because they are delicious and because I feel that they can be part of a healthy diet, and that animals are also a really important aspect of our agricultural system, and that if you want to go to a more regenerative agricultural system, that animals are a part of that because we need their manure and because animal products are healthy in moderation. What has always been important to us and was a reason that we were vegan is ethics. So I don't really want to consume anything from an animal that has been treated like crap, that was raised in a factory farming system. It just feels like bad karma to me, and it's not fair to those animals. I didn't eat meat for about 10 years. A long time ago I stopped eating meat, and then a couple years ago we also went vegan, and that was for animal considerations, animal ethics, and some environmental concerns as well, because as you might know, because there has been a lot of coverage about that, is consuming a diet high in animal products also has a really big impact on our environment, because those animals need to eat, and it just takes a lot of fuel to make or create meat, create that steak that you want to eat. Creating a diet for ourselves that is in line with our beliefs, so that is good for the animals, and that also does its part in a good regenerative agricultural system, means we have started to eat some cheese and some eggs because they can be part of a good system, but it shouldn't be, well, for us it will never be the main focus of our diet. This spring we want to get chickens, so we want to have some, because we want to eat some eggs, and we buy local cheese made here in the region, because sheep and goats can be really important in maintaining land. Here in Portugal, fire risks on abandoned land is a really big issue here, especially here in the central region, and if we use sheep to graze those lands, that can be really beneficial. Obviously that's not always how it is right now, but that is a system that I would like to see in the future more, and I want to support the people who are raising sheep and goat here in the area, so that's why I buy cheese and eggs. One thing I've been trying to practice as well the last couple months is do a lot more seasonal eating, which means that we only eat vegetables that are grown or can be grown in the season right now. We're working on a garden, as you've seen, and for the summer we want to have our own vegetable supply. But for now we still go to the supermarket. But what we've stopped doing is we didn't, because it's been winter, we haven't been buying any summer vegetables or fruits. So that means to us that we didn't buy any berries, and we didn't buy any tomatoes, we didn't buy any cucumbers, because those are all things that only grow in the summer or in a greenhouse. And let's be honest, cucumbers and tomatoes are not really good in winter anyway, because they've been grown in unnatural conditions. And so for the last couple winters I was always already feeling like, this tomato is not great. I don't really enjoy eating it, but because it's a habit to buy tomatoes, I kept doing it. And now this winter I haven't had a fresh tomato in a couple months. That brings its challenges, because then you have to think, oh, what's in season? Mostly cabbage, pumpkins, potatoes, root vegetables. So that's what we've been eating, and you have to think of new and fun and delicious ways of preparing those foods. So you have to be creative. You have to think about what you want to eat, and it can be a little bit repetitive, but that's the great thing, that winter always ends. We're starting to get into spring, and so soon we'll be able to buy other things that we haven't been eating for a couple months. I'm really, really looking forward to asparagus season, which is always my favorite season. And that's gonna be soon, so then we can start, instead of buying asparagus that come all the way from Peru, we can buy asparagus that come from Spain and Portugal again, and they're gonna be amazing. In this video I want to show you some of the things that we've been eating. I want to give you some examples of what I do for cooking and how we incorporate this mindset of seasonal local eating into what we eat. This is very specific to Portugal. Obviously it would be different in a different country. I think if we lived in the Netherlands still, I would be eating a lot more root vegetables, but they're for some reason really hard to find here. I think it's hard because they're hard to grow here. So parsnips and celeriac and all that stuff is not easy to find here. People just don't eat it. For you it might be different, but this is the way we've been eating. So let's get into some food. So welcome to my tiny kitchen. So as part of this video I thought it would be nice to show you some of the foods that we've been eating over the last couple months, since we have started to embrace the concept of seasonal eating. So we're getting at the end of winter right now. We're having some very lovely spring days, but all the fresh produce is not yet in, so we're still eating a lot of winter vegetables. Today I want to show you a vegetable stew that we've been eating a lot. It has a lot of root vegetables and things that you can still grow here in the winter. As the base for the stew we have some potatoes and some carrots. These you can obviously store for a long time, and they're also quite cheap to buy in general in the winter. We have some leeks. Leeks are kind of tricky here in Portugal. They're always quite old for some reason. Even though they're grown in Portugal, as you can see, they're not super fresh, but still good to have in winter. Another winter staple obviously is cabbage. We like these types of cabbages because I like their structure. Other cabbage you could use is just regular white cabbage or Savoy cabbage, or some other Portuguese type cabbages that you can buy here. And then I always start my food with onion and garlic. I've got 4 cloves of garlic right now and an onion. This is a tomato base stew and some chickpeas and some seasoning that I'll show you in a little bit. So I'm gonna start chopping everything and then I'll talk to you some more. Once this is cooking a little bit, I'm gonna add some seasoning. I've got a little bit left of some dried parsley. I'm gonna put in some paprika powder and some dried oregano. And I'm gonna salt it some more as well. This has been bubbling away for about 15 minutes now, and I just tested the potatoes and they're good. So I'm gonna add all the final bits, which is about a cup of chickpeas. It was just half of this jar that was left. I'm gonna add in the tomatoes. This is usually very good with some bread on the side. If you have it, maybe some fresh parsley on top, or just as is. So that's my video for this week. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you maybe got some inspiration of what you can eat in this last little bit of winter. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, I would love for you to subscribe, because I post a new video every week. In the comments, I would love for you to give an example of what you love to eat in winter, to give me some inspiration as well. Next week I have a video for you on some of the projects that we have finished recently and some of the projects that we are working on now. So I hope to see you then. Bye!